With over 600,000 census workers now canvassing the United States or stalking the United States, some pretty bizarre stories are coming back about how they are approaching American citizens, and some of them are alarming. And as I recount these stories, I'm not saying that all census workers are thugs or thieves or whatever. There's obviously some people out there doing a very good job, but there's some alarming stories. For example, in Virginia, a census worker actually stepped into a home uninvited, put his foot in the door when it was closed, and stepped into a home in clear violation of the 14th Amendment provision against unreasonable searches and seizures and against violating our privacy. This is just the tip of the iceberg about what the reports are coming back across the country. From various instances, you're having census workers actually rifling through people's mail. One census worker approached someone outside their home asking questions. He had a pit bulldog who finally leapt up and bit the American citizen. Several census workers have been accused of rape, some of being burglars. They were hired with criminal records. With this type of stuff happening, it's no wonder that some 80% of Americans no longer trust their government. And we're getting at the Rutherford Institute many calls, people saying, what can we do? We have numerous phone calls. We answer their questions, and actually 2 or 3 census workers actually call back, some revisit the homes, basically harassing citizens. And so some census workers have gotten a modus operandi, and it's harassment of American citizens. So what can we gather from all this? I've written a detailed commentary on this subject, which you can read at rutherford.org. It's going to be much more detailed than what I can say here, and many more reports and solutions to what I think is becoming a very annoying and troubling problem. So what can we gather from all this? First of all, there's a very shoddy job being done by the Census Bureau and who they're hiring. Actually, a name check is done with the FBI when they're hiring people. They're actually hired, and then after that, a fingerprint check is done. What has been discovered, and this is government statistics, is that a number of people have been hired with criminal records. So what should you do when a census worker comes to your home? With the reports that we're getting, my suggestion is that you should not let them into your home, just like you wouldn't let any salesman into your home. Answer their questions at the front door thoroughly. Under the law, you have to answer the basic questions of the census. And if they become annoying, harassing, or you become fearful, I suggest you call 911. Second, anyone from the government that approaches American citizens should be thoroughly trained. Amazingly, on the test they take to become a census worker, there are no questions about the Constitution, civics, or American history, which is appalling if you think about it. Again, if someone's approaching an American citizen from the government on a regular basis, they should be trained in the Bill of Rights and the Constitution so they will not violate those rights. So what needs to be done? These people need to be thoroughly trained or retrained before they're sent out to contact American citizens. Third, billions of dollars are being spent on the census and sending these census workers out. We're being propagandized over television, NASCARs traveling the country, whatever, Super Bowl ads, and they are continuing. They're becoming propaganda, and we, the American citizens, are paying for all that. And there's no telling how much corruption and greed and graft that's going on in other places, and there have been reports of that. Commentators on television, newspapers, internet have been wondering why and analyzing why people are so anti-incumbent this year, why we're seeing all this revolt at the polls. Well, you don't have to look very far. Just the way the census is being handled makes people very distrustful of government and why they don't want certain people in office. In other words, government's got out of control. And in my opinion, I think what's happened is we just got government officials, many of them just really don't give a damn about the American people. So what we wound up with is government against the people.